All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and fishing accomplices, good morning and welcome back to Fishin'. So it is Sunday, June 15th, 2025, aka Father's Day, and we're gonna try and make it happen. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. So yeah, I was a little torn on what I wanted to do today, but I figured I didn't want to stray too far from where I live, so we're fishing the Western Sound, a spot that I haven't fished for a little while, and I'm hoping it will produce at some level. Getting a little bit of a later start than I would have liked, but it is what it is. Really, right now we get the last third of outgoing before things bottom out and switch to incoming. Trying to see if we can get some bass, while it's relatively early, while there's some moving tide. We'll look for them in a number of spots, and after that does whatever it's going to do, we're going to maybe try and see if we can find some fluke in some of the areas where I've known to find them before. So I'm going to leave it pretty short, but that's what I'm hoping to do, and thank you for staying tuned, because it's time to get some fishing accomplished. All right, conditions, northeast winds, looking like 7 to 10 knots pretty much all morning that we're fishing. Additionally, as I said, we got outgoing tide. So it's been raining the last day or so, so water clarity is not spectacular, though it doesn't necessarily need to be. Water temps about 64.5, 65, let's just say. We've had some hot and cold days, so certainly a lot of options. It's just a matter of whether we can catch some fish. Definitely seeing a few signs of life, so let's get it out there. Keep running, gunning. Yeah, so the initial goal was to get in early and try and find striped bass, and I did find a few. Like, they were around, just it wasn't a particularly thick pile of them or thick concentration. But I did encounter them from time to time, and I was periodically marking them, and I did try casting at them, but I wasn't really having much luck with it. And I did move around quite a bit. I mean, I probably traveled a good 2 and change miles in the morning. Probably the first hour and a half of just fishing was just bouncing around trying to find fish, or trying to find larger concentrations of fish. But it just so happened that the places I was looking, I wasn't really finding much. So I tried a number of tactics. I fished, smaller stuff like I've been fishing. Eventually I did up the size a bit, and I even tried some trolling, and I did actually have a few bumps while trolling it, but nothing particularly big, and I think some of it was actually bluefish, because at one point I did have something grab it and just chop it in half. Can't say if it was big bluefish or not, but I'm pretty confident to say at least one of those hits was a bluefish hit. So after about 90 minutes of doing this and doing quite some travel, I decided to make my way back closer to launch and essentially just go right into fluke fishing. I have had decent luck fishing fluke in this area. I've never put a lot of time fluking here, but particularly after last year, one of the few half-decent Western Sound sessions I had was in this neck of the woods. I decided I came all this way, I was in the water, I might as well try and go for some fluke. And fortunately I did, because it actually turned out to be a half-decent, or probably more than decent session. So let's jump into that part. Fish. Little, but it's fish. Fluke. Alright. Well, not a total loss today. They're fluke. Better, but not that big. There's fluke here. Not the size we're looking to catch, but something. Well, this whole morning looking for bass has been a complete bust, but at least we have some fluke to catch. Hoping there might be some keepers in here. About this time last year, I got one of my few far western sound keepers, so see if we can pick one out of this group of what seems to be mainly small fish. Missed that hook set, but better fluke. Not much better. Ooh, that's better. That's a much better. Ah, dang. Felt better. See if we're going to come back. Probably not. Might be okay. No. Ooh, that's a better one. That's a better fish. Is that even a fluke? If it's a fluke, I think it's a fluke. I think I fouled him. I don't know what's going on here. It's a tail hooked or something. Oh, it's a keeper, I think. That's a keeper. Heck yeah. It's not a keeper, it's very close. It doesn't look like bass is happening, so let's drop it down. Yeah, he's almost 19 and a half. Just check down. Yeah, let's make sure this is shut all the way. Oh. Whatever. I'm okay with it. That was my bad. Well, as they say, you win some, you lose some. I know I probably should have kept that fish like deeper into the net, but I'm not hurting for meat right now. And again, I wanted to double check that fish was clear 19 as part of the line attaching the ruler to the boat was in his mouth, but that fish looked like he was about somewhere between 19 and 19 and a half, so definitely a good sign. I mean, we're just starting to get into some better tides, so there's no shortage of fish here. Some bunker too, just marked at school. But yeah, we'll work this. I mean, that fish is here. There definitely should be some other half decent fish. Just a matter of putting in the drifts and weeding through a lot of small stuff. But that fish was in about 25-ish feet of water, kind of hovering between 20 and 30 depending on my trajectory, but the wind just kind of keeps pushing me around, so it's a little tricky. But it is, you know, it's not a fool's errand. You can make it work. Just got to keep pushing through. nice, not bad. Not a keeper, but not terrible. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a much better fish than some of these fish, at least. Finicky. It's a fluke. Oh god dang. Well, I guess you can say that's why I always wear sunglasses, a hat, and anything to cover my face when I'm fishing. Is gotta always be ready for that. Yeah, keep pushing through. Half decent bite, just gotta find more quality. Sea robin? Indeed. Alright, let's mix things up, try the mini Mackinaw shad. I'm getting a lot of bites, just a lot of non-commitment. I know a lot of these fish are small, but some of them aren't that small, and it's strange that they won't fully take the gulp. So let's go smaller profile and try and hook it, you know, set the hook on them as soon as they bite it. Kind of my early season tactic down the South Shore. If I remember correctly, it was kind of the same tactic I employed here when I got into a similar bite last year in this neck of the woods. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's the best one we've hooked into in a while. It's a nice fish. It's a nice fluke. I think that's a keeper. Hopefully one we don't let flop over the boat. Oh yeah, it's a nice keeper. Dang, son. Dang, son. Ooh, that one we're not letting flop over. Oh, that is a very nice fish for these waters. First drop on the mini Mackinaw. Good thing too, because he choked it. Happy Father's Day to me. He's not that big, but he's certainly legal. So we'll take him. A little over 20. Almost 20 and a half. We'll string them up. All right, well, we got a keeper in the far western sound, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate than, yes, back on the Seltzer review here for you. Ginger lime probiotic soda, prebiotic rather, and this is Poppy brand, which I think is owned by one of the major distributors. Regardless, ooh, that's a nice chunk of structure. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that is nice. Ginger lime, you do belong together. That is a nice seltzer. Both the ginger and lime come in just right there. This isn't a seltzer, it's like a soda, but it's a very light soda, so very tasty. I give this an easy 8.8. Not too sweet, but just enough flavor. It's like the Nixie ginger lime, but just a hint more sweetness. And hopefully we can maybe get one or two more good fish before we get out of here, because obviously it's not the nicest day, but that Elias Mini Mackinac Shad did what Gulp had all day to do. So let's put a little more Procure on there, drop it down, and see if we can pull another keeper out of this spot. All right. Hopefully that footage came out okay. I know it's raining, so we'll see what we do, but let's try again, see what we can make happen. Fluke. I like this lure. Fortunately, most of them look like that, but they do like this. Not bad. I think he's fouled. Nah. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a really nice fish, I think. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really nice fish. Feels really nice when this head shakes. Where are you? Oh man, oh man. Jeez. That's like an objectively nice fluke. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Dude. Yo. Dude. I mean, no one will call that a doormat, but that's a very healthy shower mat. Wow. Whew. Had me going. The bass might not have cooperated, but we made up for it with the fluke today. Hook out, see if we can complete this limit. 22. Very nice for the Western Sound, or just in general. All right, I don't plan on staying in too much longer, but after that fish, we got to push it a little bit more. I want to see if I can close out this limit proper. Like, we did technically get a limit with that first one that flopped out of the boat, but let's see if we can take a full limit home. It's not a red hot bite, but they're here, and it's consistent. You know, it's replicable. I'm going over the same kind of depth, same kind of contours again and again and again, and every time I'm doing it, I'm getting hits. We're working like 25 to 35 feet on a ledge, and that's just the magic spot. The more structure, the better. Definitely when I'm noticing a bit more, you know, structure on the fish finder, that's when I'm tending to get more hits. And I'm also noticing, you know, some more life on the screen too. Yeah, so after getting that last fish, I continued to fish for a little while longer, hoping to get at least one more keeper. I did not find that keeper, but I did get a lot of other small, short fluke. And the bite was really pretty consistent right up until the tide hit peak slack. I didn't even really try to work the shallows, which probably would have been a good call. So I did see a few birds diving from time to time, so maybe the sand eels have worked their way into this neck of the woods too. I couldn't really tell, but overall pretty good. I was surprised by how many fish were around. I'm really hoping this is a sign of what will happen and, you know, things to come in the Western Sound, you know, as the summer progresses. So great start, you know, to the season. All right, that's going to be a wrap for today. Overall, pretty good. There were some points where I thought this was going to be a complete throwaway session, especially when we were really just hoping to try and get bass. It's like I said, the bass really didn't go through today. I mean, there's bass around. I'm marking them. I'm even marking a couple now, but they're just very scattered, and it's not particularly fun to go after them this time of year, this time of day, if it's like that on a kayak. The only exception maybe being if you have live line bunker, but you know, if there's biting fluke, I'd rather go for that than finicky bass. So these fluke really made the day today. I've gotten fluke here before, but definitely not this much quality this fast this early in the season. So I was very happy that they were coming through. Really small profile stuff was working the best for me. The gulp was working fine, you know, for getting their attention, but the problem was, you know, you keep getting this kind of thing happening. So when I downsized to the Elias Mackinac shad, the mini Mackinac shad in particular, those fish hit it, and it was basically where it needed to be. So didn't lose as many tails, but it's a matter of preference. And you know, obviously a lot of these fish are small, so it's bound to happen. You're going to get, you know, destroyed plastic, but I was happy that I was able to get some good action. So yeah, one of my better, more recent outings in the Western Sound for fluke, and I'm hoping this is a sign of things to come. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye from Fishin.